The war between humans and the Zorathians had raged for years. Captain Ethan Drake, a seasoned soldier, had seen his share of battles. But nothing could have prepared him for what happened on the desolate moon of Krylos. His squad was ambushed, and he found himself separated from his team, stranded in the alien wilderness. As he navigated the jagged terrain, Ethan stumbled upon a crashed Zorathian vessel. Curiosity and caution battled within him as he approached. Inside, he found a lone survivor, a Zorathian woman, injured but alive. Her silver skin shimmered under the dim light, and her violet eyes locked onto his with a mix of fear and defiance. Ethan hesitated. The Zorathians were his enemies, but this woman was unarmed and vulnerable. Against his better judgment, he decided to help her. He tended to her wounds, using the limited medical supplies he had. She watched him warily, her sharp, angular features softening slightly as she realized he meant no harm. "Why are you helping me?" she asked, her voice melodic yet tinged with suspicion. "Because it's the right thing to do," Ethan replied simply. Her name was Lyra, a scientist who had been studying the moon's unique energy signatures when her ship was shot down. As they spent hours together, waiting for rescue or death, they began to talk. Lyra was fascinated by human culture, and Ethan found himself drawn to her intelligence and resilience. The tension between them was palpable. When Lyra reached out to touch his face, her fingers cool against his skin, Ethan felt a spark he hadn't felt in years. Their lips met in a tentative kiss, a moment of connection that transcended their warring species. For the first time in a long time, Ethan felt something other than the weight of war. Rescue came in the form of a human patrol, but it also brought complications. Lyra was taken prisoner, and Ethan was ordered to return to his base. He couldn't stop thinking about her, though. Her image haunted his dreams, and the memory of their kiss lingered like a ghost. Weeks passed, and Ethan found himself volunteering for a mission to infiltrate a Zorathian research facility. He told himself it was for strategic reasons, but deep down, he knew he was hoping to see Lyra again. The mission was dangerous, but Ethan's determination carried him through. Inside the facility, he found her. Lyra was just as surprised to see him as he was relieved to find her unharmed. They stole moments together in the shadows, their connection deepening with each encounter. Lyra confided in him about the Zorathian leadership's plans, and Ethan shared his own fears about the war. One night, as they hid in a secluded corner of the facility, their emotions overflowed. Their kisses grew more passionate, their touches more urgent. For a brief moment, the war didn't exist, it was just the two of them, lost in each other. But reality came crashing back when alarms blared, forcing them to separate. Ethan's superiors discovered his unauthorized contact with Lyra and accused him of treason. He was given a choice: prove his loyalty by leading an attack on the Zorathian facility, or face a court-martial. Torn between duty and love, Ethan chose the former, hoping to find a way to protect Lyra. The attack was brutal. Ethan fought with a heavy heart, his mind constantly on Lyra. When he finally found her amidst the chaos, she was furious. "You betrayed me," she cried, her voice breaking. "I had no choice," Ethan replied, desperation in his eyes. "But I'm here to get you out." Reluctantly, Lyra agreed. Together, they escaped the facility, but not without scars, both physical and emotional. As they fled to a remote outpost, they began to rebuild their trust. Lyra shared her knowledge of Zorathian technology, and Ethan used it to propose a truce between their species. Their nights were filled with whispered conversations and tender moments. One evening, as they sat under the stars, Lyra turned to Ethan and said, "I never thought I could feel this way about a human." Ethan smiled, pulling her close. "Neither did I." The truce negotiations were fraught with tension, but Ethan and Lyra's relationship became a symbol of hope. Their love story spread among both humans and Zorathians, inspiring others to question the war. However, not everyone was pleased. Extremists on both sides sought to sabotage the peace process. Ethan and Lyra became targets. Assassination attempts forced them into hiding, but they refused to give up. Their bond only grew stronger as they faced each new threat together. One night, as they lay in each other's arms, Lyra whispered, "If we don't survive this, I want you to know. I love you." Ethan kissed her deeply, his heart swelling with emotion. "I love you too. And we will survive this." The final battle came unexpectedly. A rogue faction attacked the peace summit, threatening to destroy everything Ethan and Lyra had worked for. Fighting side by side, they proved that humans and Zorathians could coexist. Their bravery turned the tide, and the attackers were defeated. In the aftermath, the truce was signed. Ethan and Lyra stood together, hand in hand, as a new era of peace began. Their love had not only survived the war but had helped end it. As they looked out at the stars that night, Ethan turned to Lyra and said, "This is just the beginning." Lyra smiled, her violet eyes shining. "For us, and for everyone." Their kiss sealed their promise, a promise of a future built on love, not war.